Welcome to this video on pie graphs and sector graphs. We're going to look at using a pie graph to find the amounts. So we've already got the pie graph, so we're actually going to work out what each amount is. So to find the amount for each portion, I asked two questions. The first question is, what is the total amount? And depending on the units, that total amount may vary. So it could be time, it could be a weight, such as kilograms, it might be liters. Then again, it could be an amount of people, depending on what we're dealing with. Then we ask the question, what is the angle of this portion? So we're actually looking at the pie graph itself, the circle. Once we have that information, we can then use the formula to find that amount. So the amount equals the angle of that particular piece of the pie divided by 360 times that total amount. Here's my example. Find the amount of time for each activity. Here we have a title. The title will normally tell you what we're dealing with, okay? So the type of unit and the total that we're dealing with. So I know it's 1 day's activity, and in 1 day it's broken down into these three components. So you can see this blue piece of the pie, school plus travel, is 140 degrees. Then we have another piece of the pie which is other, which is 90 degrees, and the last one is sleep, which is 130 degrees. Now the question that we're going to ask, what is the total amount? We've got to work out what units are we dealing with. Remember, we're not talking about degrees here. We're trying to work out an amount, and I know it's 1 day, but the total amount is 24 hours because I'm actually going to break that day apart. So we're dealing in hours. So the total hours is 24. The second question, what is the portion? Okay, what is the angle of the portion? Okay, so we have to actually take one piece of the pie and ask, how big is that angle? Okay, so other is 90 degrees. Once we have those two pieces of information, we can then work out, using our little formula, the amount for other. Okay, so we're talking about hours here. So the formula again is the angle divided by 360 times the total amount. So 90 divided by 360 times 24, and that will give us the amount of hours for other, which is 6 hours. So that's the first piece of the pie. The amount of time for other is 6 hours. We have to repeat that formula for each of the pieces of pie. The first one is school and travel, so 100, or the second one, sorry, 140 degrees divided by 360 degrees times 24. That gives me 9 hours and 20 minutes. Notice I've converted the decimal to hours and minutes. And again with sleep, so 130 degrees divided by 360 times 24, that gives me 8 hours and 40 minutes. So in conclusion, the amount of time that we have, so other at the beginning was 6 hours, school and travel was 9 hours and 20 minutes, and sleep was 8 hours and 40 minutes. So don't forget, you have to work out the units you're dealing with.